very happy. Audiences are coming. All right. Well, it's episode 4. We had a jolly good old game on Sunday that we're going to discuss. But first, we're going to have ourselves a nice little chin wag about how the Cubbies are still in the playoffs. And they're playing right now. So that is why I'm wearing the hat again. All right. You guys know my presenters, hosts, I don't know, whatever word you want to call yourself. Touchdown Todd and Steve the Believer. So, guys, say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
All right. We ready to have a little chin wag about the bloody good, bad, and ugly?
Chin is warmed up. All good. Let's do it.
Okay. First, before we go there, just reminding everybody that watches the show, we will be at Almost Home. It is the London game, so we will be there. 8 a.m. they open, Todd?
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Sandwiches and full bar.
Good.
They have a solid Bloody Mary for those.
They do have a solid Bloody Mary. It's one of my favorite in the city.
I'll need one of those. Especially I have a Spritz festival the day before, so I may need a few of those. All right, we're gonna go to the good, the bad, and the ugly. And Steve, since you weren't here last week, Todd, you get to go first.
I was here last week. What are you talking about?
I'm having a good time sort of categorizing everything this week because, as we said, off camera in the green room, everything was good. But I think I'm just going to go out, and I've said this previously, man, our pass rush is good. Man, Nick Bonito is good. Man, I do think it's actually definitive that we have been so dominant for the past year and a half. As I said, I saw it live in person last year with the Colts. When you see it in person, you can't believe how chaotic it is. And so that's all I've said before. But what I'm going to say now is, I love Von Miller, but Nick Bonito is very, very quickly becoming one of the best defensive linemen the Broncos have ever had since I've been watching in 1977. Obviously, there's a long way to go. He's got to keep it going, but just the athleticism, the speed, the way that he can use his body to, like, one of the things that Vaughn did good is like he was able to use his athleticism to make tackles. And so does Nick, but Nick makes it look so much more smooth. And I am so impressed with him that he is playing so hard after his big payday that he's still got that chip on his shoulder. And I think he's on a path to be one of the greatest Broncos defensemen in my viewing history.
Yeah, he is. That's what they said during the game, is that if he keeps up the pace he's doing, he will beat Von Miller.
Yeah,
he has got more sacks in about this season than about 7 teams in the NFL. And I was going to take a shot and write it down, but he's got 7, and a lot of teams have 5 or less. So keep it going. But it's fun because Vaughn was the first round draft pick. I think Nick was 3rd, and Nick didn't believe himself when he came into Dove Valley. Sean literally called him in the office, or Vance, one of them did, said you can be one of the best players in the league, and he didn't think he was supposed to be in the room. He thought they were talking to someone else, but they obviously saw his excellence, and hopefully he can sustain it.
Yeah. Well, I think another thing he's got going for him is, like, a lot of what really worked for Von Miller in his prime was that he was the hammer to somebody else's anvil, right? He had somebody else on the other side, plus somebody who could get the pressure up the middle. And so we've got those all there right now. So if he wants to make a run at a record, like, this season is definitely one to do it in. So, all agreed. For my good, I'm going to go with the other side of that and go with the offensive line. They held up against a good Eagles defense. What I've loved over the last couple of weeks is we've gotten the run game going. Yeah, that all that much. I feel like since Philip Lindsay was in town, and so really excited to see that. And I think it's like the best thing you can do for a young quarterback is give him that extra dimension to keep the defense on their toes, and then he can do his job. So big fan of that.
I mean, I'm gonna kind of pony on or bump off of Todd, which is our defense showed why we're a top 5 defense in the league. And I don't know if I know I watched Tim Jenkins break down a lot of the thing, and it just came over the thing, and did we break Philly? Because they're losing to the Chiefs right now. But
well, you know what? I'm sorry, Tia, just for the record, we all got a text from our friend Denny. That was my ugly that we broke Philly. So like he stole it from me and then you said it. So I need to I'll be listening, but I got to figure out a new ugly because my ugly was that we broke Philly.
Well, and the news came out like a couple of hours before the game. Jalen Carter has not been practicing. He's had a foot injury. So they're losing one of the big pieces in their defense. But there were things that VJ was just showing. Like, it looked like a blitz, but they backed it off. And just like, I saw one replay of one thing. They had, who's our new corner? Jalen, the new quarterback that we just drafted.
Bodie?
No. Barron? Is that his last name?
Yeah.
Barron.
Yeah.
Tuafunga was coming this way. And Barron was coming like this. They were like converging like this. And the tight end got a hold of Tuafunga and pushed him off. And he just came right in. I'm sorry, it was McMillan. It was McMillan, not our new guy. So it was just like where they looked like they were coming with a full-on blitz. They back off and bring the 2 and just got to Hurts. Like, we were getting to Hurts like nobody's business. I don't know what's going on with Philly. Well, except for the one big catch that's going to be my ugly. We had their number. We really did. And what was also good is our defense keeping us in that position going into the fourth quarter that our offense could turn that game around, which they did. So that catch by Ingram.
Yep. Evan Ingram, yes.
Oh, like I was screaming. I scared my cat to underneath the bed. I'm sure Almost Home was crazy. So.
Oh yeah. Be healthy this week, and then we will celebrate.
I am doing that.
Good.
I didn't need to come to a game and give everybody what I had because I'm not lying.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm traveling this week. So
it's over a week, and I'm still not feeling 100%. So, all right, we're gonna go to the bad. So, what's the bad, Steve?
Honestly, it's hard to come up with bad after a game like that, but I'm going to try. And I think really what it comes down to is that, this team is in a position to kind of dig out of September, right? Like, and there's sort of just like, this seems to be the way the Peyton offense works, and it takes them a while to get rolling. And, maybe even Bo Nix is a little bit of a slower starter, but, I think perhaps the reason it works later in the season is because they just do so much early on and they have a little struggle with it. But it's a little frustrating that, we kind of have to dig ourselves out of the hole. We could be easily leading our division right now. But hey, we'll do it next week.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually going to I have a very complimentary bad to that. I think the bad thing is that I think the Broncos are incredibly underrated right now, which is actually a good thing, but that's the fun of this format. In the 2 games we lost, we did not have we were not behind for a single second in the fourth quarter. We very, very easily could be 5-0, and I don't know if just for fun, like the national media understands that. The Broncos are a very, very good team right now. And I think if I was going to do another bad, like we didn't play great the first 3 quarters against Philly. We had to come back a little bit, but that's what teams do. I think I don't like the way that we are perceived right now in the league. They think we're middle of the pack. I think we're a little bit higher, and that makes me feel bad.
Well, I mean, we've got to fix those offensive woes. We can't always fix it in the fourth quarter. I mean, we had 107 yards of offense in the first 3 quarters of the game. So that would be my bad, is the offense is slow to pick up. Now, I'm hoping over the next 5 games, we can change that and we can be more like the Bengals game. But seriously, the bad also would be like, how about all those pundits out there except for Rank that picked us to win that game? Everybody else was like, oh, it's a given. Philly's going to kill them. I did pick Philly last week to win the game, but I also said it was going to depend on how our offense does against the defense. And even though we didn't really score touchdowns to the fourth quarter, I do think our offense did do pretty well against their defense. It's just we weren't able to capitalize earlier in the game. There was a few missed throws, some off patterns, things like that. So
I think that Bo's biggest challenge right now is, and this is why I thought he'd have some struggles this season. Bo needs to put together a complete game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if he does that, then we're a very, very, very good team. But he's not doing it yet, which is understandable. And the question is, will he do it or not?
I feel like a lot of I feel like his receivers have not been helping him on that point, right? I mean, like there have been those plays where it's like, why didn't he catch that ball? Like it's like, so I think that I think the whole team would be in a better position if we had a little bit better receiver play. But I think once again, it comes down to everybody sort of getting on the script and still working through it. And our team, if you look at like our average age, is not the youngest team in the NFL, but like our offensive weapons are very young. And so I think that's where that becomes a problem. But, we got a whole season to learn and grow, and we got a winning streak to continue. So it'll do.
Yeah. All right. Now we're going to go to the ugly. Todd?
I say the ugly right now is this 8:30 a.m. London game because it feels like a trap game.
It does, especially against the Jets.
Right, like and that I figured out what my ugly was earlier today. That the Giants right now are beating the Eagles 27-17. Like nothing is given in this, and I think that I think I'm not overly concerned, but there was such an emotional, high impact win, and they're riding on the coattails of that. They need to show up Sunday morning. I'm actually glad that they are out of the country and not seeing ESPN this week because we are getting hyped. I would say I would be much more concerned if this game was going to be played in New Jersey on Sunday. But sometimes some games you have good feelings about, some games you have bad feelings about. I got a little there's a little nagging feeling to me about this one.
My ugly is exactly the same. It has nothing to do with the game itself, though. It's the fact that I need to be at a bar at 8 a.m. So yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. It's just like I can definitely get the trap game vibe. I don't expect it to be a well played football game, but I think we can limp to victory, and I would take the under. Yeah, it's. But I think the Jets are fundamentally not a good team. We just gotta not screw it up.
But they have good players in positions. Bryce Hall is a good running back. I forget who their receiver is. He's pretty good too. And even though I make me and Sean go back and forth all the time and rib each other quite well on who's better, Sauce or PS2, Sauce Gardner is a good cornerback, though I think he has one of the stickiest hands in the business. But, or as I sent something to Steve, because this kind of leads into what my bad is, and I'm just going to say it because I have to. I am going to say that if Riley Moss takes the biscuit, as they call it in British slang, and has another 30-yard pass with a 25-yard gain, like he had with Devontae Smith, I'm done.
I think Riley Moss gets too much grief. I think that
I do too. I 100%. So mine's kind of an ugly because I don't want to see that happen again.
Yeah.
But it's what I didn't want to really talk about it because I talked about it last week so much with the haters is that he gets targeted all the time. He's gonna have a missed pass here and there. Now, I looked at I don't know what they were doing with making him play up as far back as they did. He just wasn't in the right position. Something was going on. So but about Sauce Gardner is there's a subreddit on the Denver Broncos Reddit thread that was like Riley Moss gets too much bad press and it just shows you don't understand football is the name of it. One of the things they bring up Sauce Gardner in there and they're like, he has hands like a car wash. They're everywhere and they're sticky. So, I mean, some guy was like, I played cornerback in high school and college. And he's like, that's what cornerbacks do. They are touchy. They are grabby. It's just who can get away with it more. And the ones that are better at disguising what they're doing are the better ones in the league. So, but again, Riley, please, no, don't let Bryce Hall or whoever it is at the Jets get one of those. Like, let's clamp down on these guys. And as Steve, what do you say, Steve? When it looks like we're going to try and let them, like we're not, don't play with your
playing with the food.
Yeah.
For sure. We did not play with our food last week. We got our Philly cheesesteak. We ate it up. We did not screw around.
Well, we weren't ahead at any point in the game until the last
minute. Until the win.
Yeah, you know I know. We didn't play with our food.
Being behind the whole time than being ahead at the end, much better than the other way around that we were doing. So I'm going to go with it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's probably the collective good today.
Okay. Before we move to talking about the London game, anything else you guys want to say? Good, bad, or ugly?
Well, I do think there's an interest, like just following up on the Riley Moss thing. There have been a lot of statistical nerds defending his performance this year on social media. So like, and I don't know how I feel about that or not. Like, it feels to me like Riley Moss and Alex Singleton are weaknesses in this excellent defense. Because they're very good instead of great. And I think like literally we have a very great roster right now. And maybe that's part of it too, right? Like they're the two vulnerabilities. So if they're just very good, they're just going to be tested a lot. But I guess I would say I got very frustrated with Riley on Sunday. But I'm going to say the jury's still out on that.
Well, I think what happens is he the same category as PS2, Sauce, Ed Reed, those guys? No, he's not. He's not as fast. He can't make up the difference like PS2. He's smaller.
But like, is he a low end number one cornerback?
Like, I don't think
he's
he
our number
loses
2, so.
games for us. And that's the way some of the people are like, oh, there goes Riley again. He just lost us another touchdown. And the fact of the matter is he gets targeted more.
Yeah.
So he's watched more by the refs. But because he doesn't have the gifts that PS2 does, he gets grabby. So he gets the interception calls more.
Well, and I think a lot of
interference calls.
And a lot of it, he gets a lot of the PI calls. So it's an egg conversation. I can't get the deniers to like him because they're like, well, he gets called PI all the time. Well, he gets PI all the time because he gets 50 more passes a game than PS2 gets.
Right.
So, like, it's one of the, do I think he's good? Yeah. Is he part of the weaker part of our team? Yes, 100%. But I don't think he deserves being called out at every game. Like, he's the worst guy, and I don't understand why we still have him. And my point to that that just popped into my head would be, remember when we lost him last year? Who on the team would you put in Riley's position and trust to be able to handle that position? And I don't think there is anybody.
So, just to put this out there, how many receptions were there on Riley Moss during the Eagles game?
Do you happen to know that number?
2.
Yeah.
There were 2. Like, and they were good. There was the one that was really good, right? But like, that's it. Like,
yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah,
Sorry,
we remember last year when Riley was injured. What were we doing? We were complaining about the guys that were put in his place and moving people. Well, one, they were moving people around. Like, they had safeties in positions they shouldn't have been in. That stuff, you're going to have mismatches. But that's what football is. It's a game of mismatches. They're just moving pieces around. So it's just one of those. I went on the thread after the game, and during the game, people were like, Riley Moss is the worst ever. Like, get him off.
Yeah. And I'll also say, like, I think that you have to give some of the credit, or whatever the reverse of that is, to the fact that, like, does he have the safety coverage, right? Like, when we were talking about those long shots, it's like, well, where's the safety there? And so, and I think a lot of it comes down to, we play a lot of, let's rush a lot of people. We're going to play a lot of man and just hope we don't, hope that they can all do their jobs. And I think overall, I feel like he does a pretty good job, but he's a little smaller. Like, that's going to get him burned every so often, and you live with that to make the rest of the defense work. So,
right.
I like him. I'm happy.
I like him. But now, don't get me wrong. If we had the chance to get a free agent, like, I won't say Sauce Gardner because I don't want that grabby little car washer on my team, but a Sauce Gardner type of person, or Sly from the Eagles, would I have a problem with trading Riley? No, absolutely not. I just don't think we have anybody in the third or fourth string or even second, that can fill that position, that I would trust them in a situation like that.
I mean,
but it's
Johnny Barron, like, he's young, but may be able to do that. That's the thing. Like, well, and the other thing about this is, like, it's all about roster construction and how much money do you have, and it's like he's a very cheap number 2. Like, he's a good number 2. Like, if you went and, like, ranked him as, like, against other number 2 cornerbacks in the NFL, I think he'd probably be near the top.
He is near the top.
Yeah.
When you look at the numbers, like Todd said, the nerds have gone through the numbers.
Yeah.
And based on the number of passes that have come his way, he's in the top 5 in terms of effective cornerbacks. So he gets targeted a lot, but like what Steve said, he's able to stop a lot of it too. So, all right.
One last thing I will throw out there.
Real quickly.
Well, this is not a separate subject. So are we done?
What did you want to say?
I have one last thing on this subject. Like, one of the things that I think we really need to appreciate about this great team, and this is a very fun run, is, like, Riley Moss is performing one way on the field, but these guys are a collective unit. There is a vibe with this team.
And they like him.
They like each other.
Like
they believe in each other. And like the most important thing about this season so far to me is when they beat the Eagles, they were happy about it, but they were not surprised. And there is a really, 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 really impressive culture with this team right now that comes out in how they play on the field and how they, we're all watching the interviews and what they say about each other. But the special teams that I've seen, I think about the Cubs of the 2016, I think about the Nuggets of 2023. Like, it's really important to like each other and to believe in each other, and not to be overly impressed with yourselves. And I think this team has it. So we're just going to
swagger, but not cocky.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Riley's part of this crazy good defense.
Yeah.
They've got a vibe going, and they just work with each other, and he fits in. Like, it works, and that's chemistry. And I guess my bigger thing is, don't F up the chemistry, people. So, it's always going to happen. And they even make adjustments during the games and stuff. So it just depends on what we're seeing versus what they're seeing. So it's a game of mismatches. So what were you going to say, Steve?
I was going to say, after the first few games, there was a bit of a freak out that the Chargers are like running away with this division all of a sudden. It's like, okay, well, now we're tied with them. I mean, they get the tiebreaker at the moment, but like, we're in good shape, people.
Giants.
Don't worry.
We're in really good shape.
And they lost Joe Alt's out. So they lost Hampton. So they're going to have a rough couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens with that. All right. I don't have anything up for it, but we are going to discuss it. Can we talk about how good that loss that the Chiefs had on Monday Night Football?
I had another line for tonight. Like, it's insane, but the Chiefs are just another team in the league right now. They're just another team.
The teams have finally figured out that that in the past they've been weaker, but they haven't been able to figure out to get over what they were doing. Like, Mahomes was always able to find somebody. I think having Rice out, having Worthy out for a while, because Worthy just came back this week. So we'll see what happens with that. But it's not the same team. Kelsey isn't the same anymore. That defense, I mean, you guys, Chris Jones, number 95, he's getting roasted on Chiefs social media because he essentially fell down and allowed Trevor Lawrence to run in for that touchdown. He just got an extension this year. So I don't know.
Well, he just got an extension this year. He's good.
He got paid. Yeah, that team was a lot of fun. I mean, on our little thing we have going on, I was like, okay, I need Mahomes to do well, but I want the Chiefs to lose. I hit my level for fantasy, and then I'm like, all right, we can lose now. So, all right, let's see. We are going to Broncos are in London, as you've heard us mention a number of times so far on this podcast. So going into the discussion about the game against the Jets, the injury report, the only two things that really kind of concerned me when I was looking at the injury report is Ben Powers didn't play all week. So to me,
did they put him on the IR or not?
No, he's not on the IR yet.
I did not realize that. I thought they had.
He did not participate all week with a bicep.
Mm-hmm.
And Jonah Ellis didn't participate all week either. The others, they participated.
John Franklin Myers, I think, has some injury as well.
But he's not on the injury list.
Mm-hmm.
So he might be.
Yeah, he did get a little banged up in the game, but it seems like he's okay.
Yeah. Nick Benito and Alex Singleton were full participation on Wednesday. They didn't list what happens today. We'll find out tomorrow morning who's actually playing. Bidet, DJ Jones, and Malcolm Roach had limited participation. So, and those were shoulder, and calf. accordingly.
Yep.
So, Steve, what do we need? What should we look for in the game on Sunday against the Chiefs?
I think the game, we should be looking for them to not fuck up too much. I think it, I don't expect it to be like I said, I don't expect this to be a clean game. I just want them to just, get out of there in one piece, not take the trap game, and keep the streak going.
Todd?
Do you mind if I jump to my prediction right now?
That's what to watch. Go for it.
Because I thought we were doing predictions at the end of this. As I said, I have a fear that it's a trap game, but I'm pretty sure that the score is going to be 31-13 Broncos, and it's going to be a fun morning.
Nice. I like this.
I like that too. Prediction? I'm not doing scores. I'm not good at scores. I'll just say whatever he said as far as scores go. I do think we're going to win. I'm hoping it's a blowout, but I have a feeling it might be a slow start game too. So, and I'll predict that Sauce Gardner will be grabby with everybody and will not get a PI call no matter what he does on the field.
I'll go with Broncos win. We'll go with 17-10. A real barn burner. But a solid win. What's the line on the game? Did they beat it on that?
Let me look.
I guess the question for me is, can the Broncos defense stop the Jets offense, and can the Jets defense stop the Broncos offense? I think that's why
I do think our defense can stop their offense.
Right. And I don't think
the only part in it is they have to contain Fields, because he does like to run. So if they can contain Fields, then I think it's I think will be a little bit easier.
That's the magic of the Broncos front seven right now, is they just collapse the pocket immediately. There's nowhere to hide. It was designed to stop Patrick Mahomes, but it helps with every team.
Agreed. Denver is a 7.5 point favorite. So the odds makers aren't liking it. You would think it would be bigger than that based on the team that the Jets are.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens with that. And Todd, I don't know if you were watching the game, but the Brewers had people on second and third with one out, and we got out with no runs. So
nice.
So it's a good day to be a Bronco fan in Chicago.
Yeah. If you're a Cubs fan too.
Right.
Which there are quite a few. A lot of people don't realize that. There's quite a few Cubs fans in the Broncos fandom, especially if you're at a certain age.
Correct.
And older.
Yep.
So, all right. One last thought. Whatever you want to talk about, I don't care. It doesn't even have to be Broncos related. I prefer it if it was, but
I'm going to go Broncos related. I think that we have this incredible run of a pretty easy schedule. I don't know if we're going to go 5-0. I think that, but we better go. We better win the next 4 out of the 5, or else this is a different team than I think it is. To come into with a full head of steam, to go into Kansas City in mid-November sounds really, really, really fun. So I am looking forward to the rest of October and early November.
I agree. The Cowboys game, even though, come on, there you go.
Special guest appearance.
By Chewy. Even though he is orange. The Cowboys game is the one that I'm concerned about. Just because even though they weren't supposed to be good, they seem to be, well, they've also not played like huge caliber teams. Their defense, the teams they've played haven't had great defenses. So that's the one that concerns me. But I agree with you, Todd. I think we should win 4. At least 4.
I continue to settle on we're going to be 12-2 going into the Packers game.
I love that.
And also, since we're talking about the Cubs a little bit too, I'm just going to note the last time the Broncos won a Super Bowl was the same
You won the World
season
Series.
where the Cubs won the World Series. So there you go. Go Cubbies.
Yep. That was a good year.
It's very fun.
All right. My one last thought is I think a few of us are going to be knackered in the beginning on Sunday morning, but I think we'll get into it and we're going to win this game. So let's keep the fun going. I mean, that's the thing is this, as you have said before, Todd, the team is fun. They're fun to watch. And we're not sitting there chipping off field goals left and right like we've been in the past. So, I mean, in Bo's interception in the end zone, I had no problem. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was the Bengals game. Never mind. I was gonna say, like, he's cleaning up a lot of the interceptions that he used to have. I do think he needs to run more, use his legs, take the option if you see it, but we don't know what Peyton's chirping in his ear before those plays start. So I just want this team. They're just so I don't want to get too optimistic, I guess is a way to put it.
Yeah, we need to see what happens the next month.
Yeah, the next month is going to say a lot about this team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, Cubbies are up. Got a person on first and one out. So, all right, nice. I'm going to go sit in front of my TV and watch the rest of this game. And I will see you guys Sunday morning. All right?
All right.
Okay. And with that, we'll send us out with our new outro because I had a feeling if we kept using the one we had, Eminem was going to find me and sue me for copyright infringement for song rights. I can't defend myself against Eminem. He got too much money.
Right.
All right, guys. See you on Sunday. Bye-bye.